Responsive display ads. We came to one of the main formats of online advertising right now is responsive display ads by Google. As the opposite to our original banner or display ads, Google created a format that can be used more automatically, and they combine different sizes of images and texts to feed the best places at their inventory. And Google combines different variants of images texts to feed the slots at the inventory, and it can look better than just these banners because it can adapt to the site content, to the content of the placement where Google places your banners. So for these purposes, they created responsive display ads. And what do you have to create? You can upload two images with these ratios and two logos with these ratios. And you write your headlines and descriptions, and Google will combine all of it to get the best results. There is one rule that you can't put more than 20% of text on these images, so text must cover less than 20% of these images, including logo on these images. I mean that you can have as much text as you want at these logos. These are files, separate logo files that you will upload to Google Ads as a separate files. But when you go to these images and you put your logo on these images, these logos count in total 20% limit for the whole image. So we have these two formats. I'd start, for example, with 600 by 600 and 955 by 500. Or you can double it and create, for example, 1020 by 1020 and 1090 10 by 1000. This will be bigger files, but I will create these smaller versions. They will work 600 by 600. And I will use all the components that we used before in our classic display ads. So I will copy a background component and paste it into my banner. I will scale it to fit. Okay. Use scale tool. And I will copy all the other elements as I did before. So I will just copy paste those components from here because I already scaled them and we don't have to spend time looking at how I scale all these elements. So I just copy paste them. These are the same element that I had before. There is one more thing that you should know about responsive display ads is that Google doesn't allow you to use buttons on these banners. Sometimes such banners pass moderation in Google, but usually they don't. So that's why I made buttons invisible and these text bubbles. So these banners should pass the moderation easily, and if I leave buttons here, probably Google will reject those images. So actually, here we have our files and we can use them in our Google Ads. Now, there are two more important things. One is how to avoid 20% of text rule, and another is how to avoid cropping your image. Google says that it can crop up to 5% of your banners from each side. So to control this, I created uh, such rectangles that cover 5% from each side, and you understand if you put some important information into these areas and they might be cut. And to create them, you can create rectangles. So if I have this banner 955 by 500, I have to create a rectangle, vertical rectangle that is 5% of this width. Actually, I don't know how wide is it, so I will use this field to calculate it. So I just paste 955 divided by 20, so it will be 5%. And Figma calculates this for me. And I put 500 here because I know the height of my banner is 500. Now I change the filling from solid to image, and I'm happy with this chess image. I just change it to tile, maybe let's set it to 75% and make it 35% opacity. Now I copy paste it and I put it above the banner, this one and this one. Now I can copy these rectangles and unite them. So I have this union, I have this frame where I can check if my banners fit 5% cropping. So actually, when I created this file, I understood that my logo was cropped, so this icon was somewhere here, and I just moved it to the right, so now it's okay, and the logo isn't cropped by this 5%. I will just copy this union from a square one and paste it. Oh, where is it? Okay, it was pasted far from here. Okay, I'll put it right above the banner. So now I see which area could be cropped by Google.